Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. So in today's video, we are going to talk about the exit opportunities after management consulting roles. One thing that really sets apart management consulting from other career paths like finance or product management or marketing, apart from money, is that it really offers you a segue and avenue to switch to a lot of other organizations and industries once you have spent a couple of years as a management consultant. So just to get started, as all of us know, management consultants solve problems across different contexts, across different sectors. And this variety of work that management consultants do on a daily basis for clients really helps them in choosing what they would want to do once they have saturated their learnings, once they are looking to move out of the sector. And the most common thing that consultants do when it comes to an exit is firstly, they switch to a venture capital role. So a venture capital firm like Matrix or Sequoia or Bloom or Stellaris in India, these firms invest in businesses and startups. So if consultants are somebody who's solving business problems, as a consultant, you would have been exposed to a lot of white spaces, a lot of industries, a lot of businesses, and how these businesses are tackling their day-to-day operational challenges. You would have solved those challenges for them, which makes consultants a natural fit for venture capital firms who do investing and advisory for startups on a day-to-day basis. So you would see a lot of people on LinkedIn who would have, let's say, worked for a couple of years with McKinsey or BCG or Accenture, and then they would have switched to, let's say, a Matrix or a Bloom, or an Axel, and that transition is very natural because you have solved business problems and now you are coming to advise and invest in those businesses. So that variety of perspective that you carry as a consultant really helps you as a VC investor. So that's the first typical, very common exit for a management consultant. The second very common exit for a management consultant is that you switch to a startup, but you switch to a startup in a very senior role as a business head at Paytm or a general manager at Zomato. So I have had my mentees who have joined consulting and they have stayed there for, let's say, 18 months or 24 months. And then they furthered their inclination for one sector. Let's say somebody has worked in Bain with Axis Bank and then Razorpay. And then they have realized that there are a lot of opportunities in the fintech space. And after they have worked for a couple of years with Bain, they would have liked to jump into the fintech ocean. And now they are working with, let's say, a Paytm as a general manager or as a business head. So the second most common exit for a management consultant is to grow their inclination, their interest for one specific industry. It can be edtech, it can be fintech, it can be pharma, it can be food delivery, it can be quick commerce, it can be e-commerce. Whatever they like during their tenure as a management consultant, they can pick that sector, pick a firm or a startup in that and switch to that firm as a business head or as a general manager. Your experience as a consultant is really valued by these startups. That's why they match your previous salary as a consultant and even give you ESOPs on that. And you're directly hired to execute and start working with a team from day one. So that's the second most common exit as a consultant. The third is, as a lot of you would have guessed, which is entrepreneurship. So a lot of consultants pivot and they take the entrepreneurial plunge, and that's also natural because they have worked with so many businesses across domains, across sectors, across different problem statements, that they are inclined, that they are driven to solve a problem on their own. For example, if let's say a consultant with Accenture has worked with a lot of startups in let's say the customer onboarding space, right? So a lot of startups serve other startups and help them onboard customers, talk to leads, convert them, keep a check on which lead is a warm lead, hot lead. And But a consultant who was, tasked to work with a SaaS startup for customer onboarding, he or she figured out that, a lot of startups in this space are not really solving the critical pain point for other startups when it comes to onboarding their customers and users. And from their experience and their engagement, they figure out that this is what I can do. And then they can take the entrepreneurial plunge and become a SaaS founder themselves and come up with a better solution to onboard customers for their clients, which are other startups. So that's the third most common exit. So we have a lot of other exit points as well for management consultants, which can be that, they join an impact fund. They, let's say, shift to an impact consulting firm. Let's say they shift to a product management firm. So the good thing about this industry, this domain, is that everybody values that you carry consulting experience, and there is no restriction on you. You can get into private equity, you can get into product management, you can even get into digital marketing after management consulting. But the three most common exit points are: firstly, venture capital; secondly, general management or business head roles with startups; and thirdly, you build your own startup, you build your own venture as an entrepreneur. I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you very soon.